of my way. Off grid. I'm stepping on things as I'm sitting down. Anyway, I still haven't figured out how to edit and join videos. So when I stop something, my only choice is to start over. So I have to figure that out. I think I need to have an actual laptop or computer to edit, because I haven't figured out how to get any kind of software on my phone. Eventually. Okay, anyway, I'm separating plants into their own separate little planters. So I've already done some of my little pickle bush cucumbers. I've got 6 of those. One of them's really, really small, so I'm not really holding up much hope for it. But yeah, they're starting to look a little crowded, and they're not really gaining much. So I thought we'll go ahead and put them in their own little planters until I get my trellis up there. And I need to take down a couple more little trees so that we get more light in that spot. But anyway, we've got the UD power station around back charging. And I did get the cord. They sent it to me. It came like over a week after I got the solar panels one day. I got the power station the next day. And then like 4 or 5 days later, I got the cord so that you could hook both solar panels together and to the UD power station. So they do eventually send you everything you need to get that going. But it's been pretty cloudy and rainy on and off here over the last several days. Thank you for the rain. But we were not able to charge that with the solar panels at all. Even the day that we had some sun coming in and out, I think it sat outside all day, and anytime a cloud would even just pass the sun, it would stop all solar production. So that wasn't ideal. And initially I only had the one cable to where you could just hook one solar panel to the power station, not both. So now I've got both hooked together and plugged to the power station, and it's out back charging. It started at 23%. Last I checked it about 30 minutes ago, it was getting about 250 to 300 watts of input power. So that is way better than it was getting before. It was only like maybe 70 when the sun was on it on the one panel. So with 2 panels, definitely, hopefully we'll be able to get that charged within just 4 or 5 hours. We'll see. I've got one laying down flat, one propped up. Because when I propped them both up, it seemed to drop the rate of production. So I got empty bottles that have no dirt or anything up under my feet. I'm going to have to move those up my way. Okay. So anyway, right now I'm trying to wet down some of this dirt in these bottles that I've had sitting out here so that we can separate some more of these plants. And I really was going to try to put some of the basil into the ground today, but I don't have my tomato plants in the ground yet, and I'm just getting ready to separate some of those. So I think I'm just going to put, I think I'm going to put one in with my chives over there is where I'm trying to go. My brain's shut off for a minute there, didn't it? But yeah, I think I'm going to put one of the basil in with my chives, and then I'm going to just repot the rest of these to give them some more room to grow until I get the big garden over there finished and get some of these tomatoes and things in the ground, and we'll put them up there with the tomatoes and peppers. I thought about putting one in this garden bed, but I'm not really sure. I mean, there are some onions and garlic in here, but there's also spinach and lettuce and stuff, and I don't really know how basil goes with those, but I might try putting one in up here since there's room. Some of this stuff is getting ready to come out, so we're gonna eventually, once these pods have finished maturing on the broccoli and the arugula that bolted, then I'll pull these out and we'll put more lettuce in here. Our next planting of lettuce and spinach probably. So yeah, once these guys come out, we'll put in some fresh lettuce. You can see on my lettuces are getting kind of tall because I keep pulling the leaves off of the bottom, so they just keep growing up, and they are getting, you know, kind of long, long, leggy, tall, but it is still really good lettuce, so I'm not too unhappy with it. But anyway, so I've just been where did I lose my lid to? Trying to pre-wet my dirt. Oh, I threw it over there. God, terrible. And like I said, getting these plants repotted to where they have a little more room for their roots to grow and spread out and hopefully become nice strong plants. So on my mix here, I've just taken old, recycled garden dirt pretty much. I just keep using the same dirt over and over. I add rice wash water, fermented rice wash water, and some composted dirt and stuff that I've got around left from my compost bin that I used to have. And I just kind of mix it in with the old used garden dirt and just keep reusing it. And guess what? My seedlings grow just fine in this every year. So I think on this garden bed, when I do pull these things out back here and I start growing new lettuce and I start pulling this old lettuce out, I'm going to go ahead and add some things to this bed before I replant it. So I would like to have rabbits eventually so that I can take their manure and just direct put it on my plants. But we're not that far in this process yet, so eventually we hope to have some Californian rabbits, and eventually we will get more things going. Oh, these are coming apart really easy too. Look at that, just like pops right off of there. You can see my tomatoes, they have just kind of, these guys have just kind of gotten their first set of leaves, got their true leaves started, and then just kind of quit kind of growing. So we're gonna try to get these in here a little deep, give them more room to get some better roots growing and in their own little pots. So hopefully we'll see what kind of progress we get out of these this week once we get these all redone. But I'm hoping that they will decide that it's good growing conditions to just be in their own pots. But yeah, I'm going to try to get them down there as far as possible. So they like deep dirt. So there's two. Get my finger way in there. Grab one of these guys. Get it way down in there. These are pink fang. I got them for free from Baker's Creek for, I guess the more you order, you hit certain tiers or whatever. So they start out, it's like, oh, you get one free packet of seeds, and they don't tell you what it is. But they sent me the pink fang tomato and something else. I can't remember. But I got 2 free seed packets with my order, and I only spent like $30 with them. But I got, the moringa came from there, my amaranth came from there, and I got, actually, I don't remember what all, but we're gonna, as we plant, we'll go through it. But right now, I didn't have hardly any roots. Let's see how it does. I pre-moisten my soil. And I'll water these through even once they're in their own little planters just to make sure that they have plenty of moisture to start with. This one's got a really long root but a really small top. So we're just going to leave the top out of the dirt on this one and let that go. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I run out of pots? Here's one I had. Aha! This one's got a good little ball on it. We're going to shove him way down in there. Alright, so I like using these little bottle greenhouses because if it still has cooler nights, I usually just take the painter's tape and tape them shut, and I can label them that way, and it keeps them shut. But it's like a little mini greenhouse of its own, and I can always close them up if it gets cooler, or just put them in a tray and bring them in the house, which is what I was doing at the beginning when we were still getting some colder nights. But I think we're kind of beyond it. I think the coldest we've had this week was 39 at night, but for most part it's been in the 40s, 50s, and above. So we've had some really warm days already for this early in the year. I'm pretty sure, even though we haven't hit our last frost date, that we're not going to get any more frost because it's just, it's just the way it is. Around here, we have had, pretty early warmth this year so far, and I anticipate that we're not going to get any more frost. I think I kind of got bent, so we'll see how it does. Anyway, it's all one big experiment until it works, and then we just keep doing what we were doing. All right, that is, nope, there's one more. One more little guy hanging out. Or is it? I'm not really sure. That looks more like I pulled a weed and just threw it in the garden bed. Yeah, I don't think that's a tomato. We're going to leave that out. But anyway, this has been fun. So I take the painter's tape. You can see I've just labeled it with my pink fang tomato. This was the original cup. I'm done with it, so that can go away now. This is not going to be sticky enough, but I just take a Sharpie and write, pink fang tomato, and when I planted it on there, so that if they don't germinate, I know that they've been in there long enough to germinate, and they just haven't. So my trash bucket, rinse my hand off a little bit, and we'll start on the basil. Keep getting that same piece of weed in my way. I like doing this in the shade because I don't think it's good for the roots to be exposed to like direct sunlight. And this little cold weather garden bed over here is already shaded at like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Honestly, I think maybe I should put the basil in the square planters. But I got some. Move those over here. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's like maybe a dozen of them. Goodness. These little planters, a couple of them have some kind of little volunteer, and because I reuse my dirt, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes if things haven't just been hiding seeds, hiding somewhere in the dirt that were just maybe too not. There's some big pieces in here too. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe seeds were hiding in that dirt that just didn't germinate. Or maybe they were too deep or something before. I have no idea, but we're just going to pick them out of there because we don't know what they are. It's too early to tell. They're just two little tiny leaves on each one. So these aren't as deep as the one I just pulled these out of, but we're going to try it anyway. Breaking them up over the bed so that any of that dirt can be in here. These roots are getting pretty tight. So yeah, it's a good time to separate. Let's see if we can get some more growth going out of these babies. I hate feeling like I'm tearing the roots. They are tangled up together though. Just kind of roll them out. Oh, basil smells so good. It's so good. But yeah, I got sage and rosemary starting up there, so that was exciting to see today. The moringa starting. That's finally. I've been trying for the last several weeks. I feel like I just chopped that completely up. That one's got a pretty good section of root. These ones are all so tight together. It's like you pull them apart and you're just like, oh, I feel the roots ripping. I don't like doing it to them, but there's 1, 2, 3 I got loose. That one I think I just broke the stem. There's 4. Hope that guy lives. We'll bury him deep. See if we can't get that crook I just put in him to straighten out. Ay vey. Alright, that's a little one. But anyway, I like working on this kind of stuff. It's therapeutic for me. It relaxes me. And I just really enjoy doing it. So this is a fun time. I have friends of mine that don't appreciate all these kind of things. They don't want to garden. They don't want to plant things. They just rather buy their food from the store. And I keep telling them, one of these days, the store's not going to be there. And you're not going to have a clue. What are you guys going to do? They'll all be at my house. They'll all be here. Rachel grows food. You can go get food at Rachel's. My son, I even tried to get them to start a garden up there, and he was just like, no, because he's like, between the kids and the animals or whatever, he feels like it wouldn't go well. And I was just like, son, your kids are 9, 10, 12, 16 years old. I would think they would have, the ability to even help in the garden at this point. But his kids do like to kind of trash on things. But they do come down here, and I've not had too many problems with them trashing my things because I tell them no. It's real simple. But teach his own. They're his kids. So if he doesn't want to grow a garden because he's afraid his kids will ruin it, I would have them out there working in it. That's just me. But yeah. We did some gardening when my kids were little. Nothing on the scale that I am trying now. But that guy does not look happy at all. Oh, just don't die on me. That one has really good roots on that one, but these are definitely smaller pots, so we'll see if they can. I would think because they're getting in their own pot, it wouldn't have to be real dim. Hopefully they won't be in these for very long. Like I said, hopefully we'll get this other bed up here going in the next few days. And hopefully by next week we'll be ready to put these in the ground. In the meantime, we're just doing what we can. I'm taking dirt out of one container and putting it in others. I don't feel like going to get the bucket of dirt over there. It's pretty bad. But now my cat is out here trying to lay on my plants, and the dog is letting her know that's not where you need to lay right now. Don't you see Mom is busy? Katrina, you're gonna ruin my plants. I'm gonna be mad. Back up. I still got 1, 2, 3. I think I'm gonna put one of these just back up in here. Clear a little spot. Hook me a hole. Let's put one in up here and see what it does. Pretty good looking one. Oh, that dirt is still nice and moist from our rain. I don't even think I need to water it for another couple of days. Next. Okay. She's sulking over here because I battered her off of my plant. Oh, that one has no root. I guess we will try putting it in some water. see if we can get a root to grow. Oh, that reminds me, I have some other basil and mint and stuff inside I need to check on that I had taken cuttings and I'm trying to get to root. Oh. Stand up, little guy. Hopefully once we get these watered in, they'll look a little happier. They don't seem very happy about being moved right now. But hopefully they'll get over it. Ooh, that one's got a nice root system on it. Again, I think maybe we might put it back in the taller pot. Throw some of this in there. It's got such a long root. I want to get it. It's one of the bigger ones right here that was in there. Ooh. So what do you guys think? Do you guys like planting? Have you had success with your gardens? Or you struggle? Or I think oh, I got one right there. Little more dirt here and there. I think there is a great feeling of satisfaction when you grow your own food versus going to the grocery store and buying it. It's just a lot. You know what you've put into it. Your, sweat, tears, labor, whatever. You have a little more dirt. Ooh, just banging myself up and my plants. All right, little guy. Let's get some extra dirt up around that side. Some wet, muddy dirt. Yeah, there we go. Now I think we'll give these a little sprinkle. And then we'll get them out of the way of my cat before she starts dumping things and I get irritated with her. She has a habit of knowing how to do that. No, Katrina, stay out. She's a, it's like you're giving the plants more attention than me, and I don't like it kind of girl. We'll get all these nice and watered here before we move on to the next thing. See if we can get these out in the sun and standing back up. Alright, I'll have a little bit. Let me get reset and I'll be right back with you. Nope, wash my hands. Alright, so I have so many things going on here. And I have volunteers. So I had pumpkins in the fall that we had gotten on sale from our Exeter corn maze, basically. And the ones, I kind of did an experiment, I bought several different varieties, but they're on sale for like $1 a piece. And so, yeah, I bought several different varieties of pumpkin. And I believe the one that I threw out here, just because when it started right, I just threw it outside. And I have all these volunteer pumpkins coming up. All those. And then right here, all those. Those are just growing right out of the pumpkin that I threw out here. And so that's fun. And it's right near my regular garden bed though, so I'm worried that that might vine out and come this way. So I want to put a trellis along this side. I still didn't wash my hands, you can tell. But I want to put a trellis up on my side, kind of blocking that off so where they can grow on the trellis and hopefully not get into my garden bed too much. But I want to put the corn up here anyway, so that'll be pumpkins, corn, and we'll do beans. But you see, I got them all out here. I put them all in the sun. So we'll see who's still standing here in a little bit. They all kind of, the basil especially is kind of weepy looking right now. So hopefully they'll perk back up being in the sun and having fresh water put in them. I got the pickle bush cucumbers. I've got the 6 of those. And then we've got our pink fang tomatoes and our basil separated out. So we'll let that set for today and see how those do. And let's see, so I checked on my birds this morning. My 2 injured girls seem to be doing all right. One is limping. The other one, it's mostly in the wing area that it got attacked. So both of my Morans, both of my Midnight Majesty Morans are the 2 that got attacked, and one of my Easter eggers is the one that was dead. So we are down to 6 hens and what I believe to be 1 rooster. We have 1 Rhode Island Red, 2 injured Midnight Majesty Morans, 2 unscathed Easter eggers, and then yeah, the 2 Rhode Island Reds. I think 1 is a hen and 1 is a rooster. And oh, and then I've got the 1 sex link. So I don't know. We'll see. I've had such a hard time with the birds this year. It's like, first of all, I bought the Peter Griffins. That was a mistake. I will never get Cornish cross chickens again, ever. Ever, ever, ever. They eat so much. I think unless you had a big operation where you were raising them commercially, it's just not worth the feed to me. And I see that my solar panels are getting shaded out. So we are going to check on this and see if we can get it producing sun again. Well, now just the 1 panel is really shaded. The one that's standing up seems to be fine. Let's see what kind of power we're getting. Yeah, only 130 watts right now with that 1 shaded. So we're going to move it. And the sun is going that way. So we're just going to turn them, I think. Let's try. The only thing with the solar, you have to constantly check and follow the sun, and I have so many trees that it's hard to hard to keep these things going all day. If you had to leave, you're a host. You're a host. But I think that sun will clear that branch here before too long, and we'll be back in business. I've tried laying one flat and one up because it's only pulling about 130 right now. I don't like these solar panels. I really think I need to get some rigid solar panels. And this has a port on the back also that you can hook into, but they don't give you the cord for that. Unless it comes in another week, I'll let you know. they do not give you the cord that plugs into the back. So, that you got to get on your own. But I was happy to find that they did send me the cable that connects the two together, because when I first got them, the solar panel in the box with the solar panel it only came with this cord. So it's one end that goes into the panel and then the tumbler that goes into the front. But there's only one plug for this in the front of the power station. The one in the back also takes one of these. So there's no cord to plug in the back. And the cord that came that hooks them both together is just basically two of these split off of one tumbler. So they still don't give you anything to plug it into the back. But it is doing some charging. It started out at, what did I say, 23%? And we are at 34 now, and it's been out here for about an hour. So it is getting some charge. I think maybe I might move it back a little further because there's even more sun. Like this is got some shade from these branches, and I feel like if I move it back even further, it'll get better production. So let me unplug this box and move it back that way. Yep, sounds like a plan. I'll turn you so you can see where I'm at. All right. From here. Unplug this one. mind me. I grow rocks here, folks, so you are going to see me trip and roll and stumble all the time. It is part of living in the Mozarks. That is the Missouri, Arkansas, Ozark Mountains. Especially on my hill. This land does, I mean, literally, I'm on a hill. Okay, so it's not just that you have rocks everywhere, and I do mean everywhere. Big ones, medium ones. You can see how these kind of things can cause you to trip and roll your feet over them. Fortunately, we're pretty used to it here. If you live here, you get used to it. So you don't tend to, you know, fall down a whole lot from it anymore. But definitely there is the potential for that to happen. But usually I just trip on them. I stumble, or my foot will roll, and you just kind of got to go with it. But yeah, see, big ones, little ones, rocks, 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 and stumps from where I have been cutting out saplings and small trees. So you can see there are a lot of tripping hazards, a lot of dangers around my property. And so, yes, you will see me stumble quite often, probably. Just one of those things. But I have not completely wiped out in quite some time, believe it or not. I have had a lot of close calls. Let's go check this live trap up here by the chicken coop. It doesn't look like it's still open. But it is. So this is the little live trap that I've got set up by this chicken. I did not bait it, but she is my chicken alarm. If the fox comes around here, she's the first one to sound off. If she sees it, she is my back girl, huh? Yeah, she definitely alerts me, and my bedroom window is right up there, so I can look right out at her and see what's going on. And that was the first time, like, I knew something got a hold of the meat birds when they were over there in that area. So we moved them up front, and I put hardware cloth around their cage to close up gaps to keep them safer. And like I said, she alerts when she sees things. And usually once one of the chickens starts going, my mini Australian Shepherd, Juby, will run whatever it is that's got them upset off before you ever even see it. But she has been hanging out up the street at my son's house quite a bit. And I don't know, since Fireball died, she just doesn't seem to be one to be down here as much. But she was my herding dog. You know, she's the one that kind of kept the chickens safer, I think. And since Fireball's been gone and there's not as much noise down here, and he's not bolting out the door barking and everything, she's not hanging out down here as much. And now we're it's just poor little Tiny, my little Yorkie, and she's getting older, folks. So she's not as spry, and I don't know. But I mean, she did come out barking the other night, and I think that it was because these girls were getting attacked. And so hopefully, I'd like to think that she ran off the fox and kept it from killing all of my birds. But one did die, and two are injured. So we're just kind of keeping an eye on them. I did flush out their wounds with peroxide and warm water solution. I check and look at it to make sure, you know, today that it is looking like it's, you know, their wounds are drying up and not doing anything funky. So we'll just keep an eye on that, and I'll keep spraying it down with just some clean distilled water. And you can put you can put regular Neosporin on their little boo-boos like that too. But you don't want the pain medication, like the pain stuff, because that lidocaine and stuff like that is not good for your birds. So As long as it's the just regular old original kind of Neosporin, they should be fine. But I've had to doctor too many here recently. There's just been too much of it. So hopefully we definitely will trap that fox and be able to relocate it. I'm hoping it's not got pups somewhere. But at that time of year, it's possible if I catch it, I might have to just let it go if it looks like it's nursing or something. So hopefully it's a male and we can just take it somewhere else. And I don't have to worry about, yeah. Because, you know, they are cute. I just don't want them eating my birds. That's all. And if it would leave my chickens alone, then we wouldn't have a problem with the fox being out here. But it wants to eat my birds. So it's got to go. Anyway. All right, we got our UD going. We got our garden stuff going. I started weed eating out here, and then my son borrowed the weed eater, so it's not down here for me to do any of that today. I've got to take a shower and get cleaned up because we have a group today that me and my daughter go to. She's hiding in the truck right now because she doesn't like being on camera. She's on the autism spectrum, and she gets a little weird with the camera on. So she changes her voice and everything, and she'll stand behind the camera and say things, but she won't step in front of the camera. So that's fine. She doesn't want to be on camera. She doesn't have to. And we will respect her privacy and her space, but she might eventually pop in and out every once in a while. You will hear her probably more than see her, but she is around here. She does help me with some things. So she is the youngest of my 3 kids, and the only one that still likes to hang out with me on the daily. I'm just kidding. My kids love me, but my son has 4 kids of his own, and my middle daughter has 1 of her own. They're married and have their own houses and all that. And Justice is just kind of my late bloomer. But she is 10 years younger than my middle child too. So not that she's that late. She's just over 20 now. And she bought her own camper up the hill. And we will be working on that soon too, trying to get it livable for her so she will have her own space and not have to be crowded in the 5th wheel with mom anymore. So she had a building up there at her brother's that her biological father provided for her, but had since said that he was going to move it and they were going to repo it at some point or something. All I know is she decided it wasn't where she wanted to be. She felt safer down here. I don't blame her. She doesn't have to worry about getting kicked out or having her stuff disappear or whatever she was going through up there. But she did try. Her dad, you know, was basically just a donor. And so she didn't really get to spend very much time with him or grew up with him or anything like that. So she wanted to get to know him, and she went and spent about a year, I guess, altogether, maybe a little longer, with her biological father, and didn't like it, so she's back. But anyway, come up here and check on my dog's grave. You can see he's laid to rest right here. Fireball, something's drug a old vine across there, but this is the resting place for my dog, and I see that one of the cats has used it as a cat box, so we're gonna have to shuffle that out. And yeah, I'm going to put more dirt. I want to get this area, I'm gonna keep putting rocks around the outside and just keep adding dirt until this is all level, because it is kind of a natural depression right here. But look at those irises that grow right above his little grave area. And then we've got a red bud tree that is right here. So he's got, you know, a nice little spot that kind of looks over where I'm going to put my house down here eventually. So he'll always be up here looking over my house. So poor little feller. I miss him so much, though. He really was the noisemaker of the property. He definitely let you know when something was here that didn't belong here. He was the one. But and like I said, since he's been gone, Judy seems to spend less time at home, which really kind of bothers me, because she was really good at, you know, chasing things off. I didn't have any problems with this fox when she was down here. It's like now that she's not down here all the time. But yeah, I think it got a hold of the one bird the first time, and she immediately ran it off as soon as she heard the chickens get riled up. And once she gets going, Fireball would bolt out the door, and so the two of them would run through the woods until whatever there was to chase is not worth chasing anymore, I guess. And then, but yeah, I think had Fireball stuck around, then we might not have had another attack, but we did. So it's just kind of pressed me to get things going. So we do have I don't know where I'm pacing to, but I do tend to pace. I lose track of my thought process, forget what I'm doing. But anyway, I do have a bunch of wood here under those tarps. That's all wood that I've collected from different places or projects or job sites or whatever, and I think there's enough there to get something going. So we want to get this cleaned out and build some kind of structure there for the deep freezer, because we are going to test that UD power station and see how long it'll run the deep freezer. And then for now, we're just using it in the house to kind of test and see what all we can do. We have plugged in the vacuum cleaner, the microwave, a fan, phone, what is the TV, 55-inch TV, antenna, yeah, I think that might be it all at once, and it will run all of that. So I don't know when we ran the microwave if we had, I know the fan was plugged in, but I don't think the TV and stuff was plugged into it. So, but it will like power it all. So far so good with the UD S24 power station. Not sponsored, by the way, at all by anyone. So you hear me talking about Baker's Creek and UD power and all that. I have no sponsors. So yeah, I ordered it because it was on sale, and I think the UD Power S2400 with the 2 solar panels, and finally the cord that hooks them together was $11.29, I think is what I paid, and that's $1,129, and so far I'm pretty happy with it. So if we can get it to charge on the solar, I'll be even happier, which right now it is doing. So we'll see how much charge we get on that today, and I will update you later. And let's see, I'm going to take one more wander around my yard, I think, and I'm really not happy with, okay, so I bought both the asparagus crowns and strawberry crowns from Walmart again, and they are not really growing again. So I will not be purchasing crowns and such from Walmart anymore. I honestly, out of like what was there supposed to be, I think 30 crowns, 5 red and 25 white strawberry, only 2 have grown. And then I'm not even sure if that one is from from the bunch of strawberries that I planted, or if it is even a strawberry at all at this point. Because let's look at this. This when it first came up, I thought, yeah, that's a strawberry. But I'm not really 100%. This one is for sure. But you can see this, it's like 3 leaves, and this one's 5. I don't know if that's just because I got the white and the red, if that's what the white do or what, but I'm thinking it might be something wild. It might not even be a strawberry. This might be a strawberry coming up over here. This one. And these I'm not really sure about yet. We're giving them some time. That one's not. That one I don't think is either, but we'll let it go and just see what it does. We'll let some of them go, but yeah, for 30 plants that went in, that's pretty sad. Pretty sad that, and you have to have, like, it says on the package for the white strawberries, you have to have like 1 red for every 5 white. And so if it turns out to be a white strawberry, it might not ever even produce because there's no reds over there with it. But yeah, those and the asparagus crowns from Walmart, I've never had luck with them. I've tried and tried, and they just don't do anything. So I left the crowns kind of up, the asparagus kind of exposed up here just to see if they would ever green up. And they've been in, and I've watered them regularly for well over, what, it's been more than a couple of weeks now, and they're just not doing anything at all. So no more Walmart crowns. Don't buy Walmart crowns. They're not worth it. A waste of money, to say the least. But yeah, I think I'm going to try and get some other seeds in today. I might go up to the top of the hill after I get my weed eater back. But like I said, I've got some other stuff I got to do. We're going to my daughter's group today, and well, our group I go to. But we're going to our group here in a little bit, so I need to get ready for that. We've got to cook something because we usually do like a potluck kind of thing. Everybody brings a dish. I know one lady's bringing manicotti today. I know another one's bringing pizza. So I'm gonna maybe grab some salad stuff out of my garden and toss it up and add some tomato and basil and such. So we'll see, but we'll get that going, and we'll work on some more of this tomorrow. Hi everybody, hug your family. You don't know how long you've got them for. And have a blessed day. See you in the next one. Like, subscribe, hype, whatever they do these days. Give me a thumbs up, something, so we can make it worth doing this every day. Give me some motivation and inspiration if I have people watching me and commenting and yeah. So stick with me. We're doing great things. It's gonna become a lovely place. Bye.